Assembled guests, please stand. Their Excellencies, the Right Honourable Dame Cindy Kello, Governor-General of New Zealand, and Dr. Richard Davis.
Hare maira koto, ngā rangatira, ngā manukura, I runga I te reo karanga, o te kahurangi nei e. Hare mai, hare mai, hare maira. Whakatau maira, I runga I te kaupapa whakahirahira nei e. Whakatau mai, whakatau mai rā.
Ke hōnore he korori a he mau ngārongo ki runga ki te mato te whenua. He whakaara pai ki ngā tangata katoa. Arohaina ngā teina me ngā tuakana e noho nei I rungi te whakaaro utahi. Pai mai.
Pai mai.
Please be seated. Kia ora tātou katoa. Nau mai hara mai ki te whare kāwana o Tāmaki Makaurau. Distinguished guests, it is a pleasure to welcome you all to Government House for today's investiture ceremony. I'd like to specifically acknowledge the Honourable Marama Davidson, Minister of the Crown, Mr. Joe Harawira, kaumātua, Mrs. Ranui Ngārimu, kuia. Hosting investiture ceremonies is one of the most important duties I perform on behalf of Her Majesty, the Queen of New Zealand. I'm delighted to bring together such an extraordinary group of New Zealanders. You have each brought pride and a greater sense of well-being to Aotearoa New Zealand through your outstanding achievements and your service to our communities. On behalf of all New Zealanders, I extend my sincerest thanks for your contributions. After each recipient is honoured, I invite you all to join with me in congratulating them. Mr. Ward Kamo will now summon the recipients and read their citations.
Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a Knight Companion of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Sir Wayne Shelford of Auckland, for services to rugby and the community. Sir Wayne Buck Shelford is recognised for his time with the All Blacks as a player from 1985 and captain from 1987 to 1990, where he is credited for bringing the mana back to the All Black haka and leading a record-setting 14 consecutive Test victories as captain. Sir Wayne has given freely and tirelessly back to the community through numerous charitable works, most notably through Men's Health. He is a committed ambassador for the Prostate Cancer Foundation. His numerous fundraising activities include golf tournaments, pedals for prostate, Share for Life, keynote speaking and charitable auctions, such as for the Child Cancer Foundation. He was involved with the Ministry of Health's Lifekeeper Suicide Prevention program and Waimarie, Whatever It Takes, community housing for the disabled. He recently became involved with the Kiwi Maia, a charitable trust involved in offering respite care for emergency first responders. He is a member of the Northern Region Lions Foundation Grants Committee. He is on the executive of the Auckland RSA and patron of the Passchendaele Society. He is president of North Shore Rugby Club, having been involved for more than 40 years as player, captain and coach. He is patron of the New Zealand Navy Rugby, New Zealand Defence Force Rugby, and of Māori education program Te Reo Tuatai, supporting Te Reo Māori in mainstream schools. Sir Wayne is well regarded for his standing and mana within Aotearoa and within Te Ao Māori. Sir Wayne Shelford, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a Companion of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Mr. Rawiri Parathine of Auckland for services to Māori, film and theatre. Rawiri Parathine is an acclaimed actor, writer and director for stage and screen who has been active for over 5 decades. He has advocated for the use of Te Reo Māori and is a member of the Ngā Tamatoa movement campaigning for the teaching of Māori in schools, having founded the Wellington branch. He has directed on language learning shows Kōrero Mai and Whānau. He is a trustee of the South Pacific Whale Research Consortium and of the Paipai Ātata, which funds the development of Māori cinema. He returned after many years off screen in the Cook Islands feature Stranded Pearl and television comedy series Golden Boy. Mr. Parathine's most recent live performance was Pita Pāka Paratine at Te Pau Theatre in Auckland and the Kia Mau Festival in Wellington. Mr. Rawiri Parathine, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a Companion of the Queen's Service Order, Ms. Anne Hartley of Auckland for services to local government and the community. Anne Hartley was coordinator of the Birkdale Community House and played a significant role in establishing the creche at St Philip's Church in Birkdale. She was Mayor of Birkenhead City and then North Shore City, working with other councils to secure funding for the establishment of the only marae in the North Shore area, Awataha Marae. She was elected to Parliament for the Northcote electorate, was Deputy Speaker of the House, and was a list member and Assistant Speaker until her retirement. She was a trustee and chair of the ASB Community Trust. She was councillor for the North Shore Ward and has been influential in establishing and maintaining the North Shore's rich array of parks and facilities. Ms Hartley is a member of Auckland Council's Kaipātiki local board. Ms Anne Hartley, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of an Officer of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Mrs. Bev Watson of Auckland, for services to race relations and youth. Bev Watson has worked to design, implement and sustain the Race Unity Speech Awards and Hui, a national annual speech competition on the importance of race unity. She is director of the competition, which now extends to hundreds of secondary schools. She was a member of the executive of the National Council of Women and of the National Executive for the United Nations Association, New Zealand. She was instrumental in establishing the Human Rights Network and was its co-founder and first secretary. As a member of this network, she has raised awareness of a range of issues. She has advocated for families of the Iranian diaspora and members of the Baha'i minority religion in Iran. Mrs. Watson helped draft the first national statement on religious diversity. Mrs. Bev Watson, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a member of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Dr. Janet Freita of Auckland, for services as a general practitioner. Dr. Janet Freita has served for 40 years as a general practitioner and is regarded as a leader and model of excellence in her field. For more than 25 years, Dr. Freita trained registrars in general practice for the Royal New Zealand College of General Practice. She advised the New Zealand Medical Council on general practice issues, particularly in relation to complaints about malpractice and ethics. She is an advocate for the health and well-being of doctors and for women's health, particularly for those who have suffered trauma and abuse. Dr. Freita was awarded Distinguished Fellow of the Royal New Zealand College of General Practice in 2010. Dr. Janet Freita, please come forward. Ms. Janet Peters of Tauranga for services to mental health. Janet Peters is a registered psychologist and the New Zealand liaison for the International Initiative for Mental Health Leadership. She was National Manager for the first Ministry of Health, Like Minds, Like Mine campaign and continues in an advisory role. She was involved with the National Depression Initiative with Sir John Kirwan and was a member of the National Advisory Group in 2020. She has written several key mental health addiction documents. She has advocated for services for children who have experienced trauma. Ms. Peters has held roles with the New Zealand Psychologists Board and the Film and Literature Board of Review and is on the board of Pathways Trust. Ms. Janet Peters, please come forward. Ms. Gwendolyn Smith of Auckland for services to mental health. Gwendolyn Smith worked as a clinical psychologist and consultant before becoming a commentator on mental health. Her book, Will the Real Mr. New Zealand Please Stand Up?, focused on rising suicide and mental health issues in men. She then published Sharing the Load, What to Do When Someone You Love is Depressed, and fundraised for the campaign now known as Like Minds. Upon recovery from breast cancer, she wrote Breast Support and campaigned for breast cancer research. Ms. Smith helped establish AskDrNo.com, a mental health advice blog for young people, which led to the publication of The Book of Knowing, The Book of Overthinking, and The Book of Angst. Ms. Gwendolyn Smith, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the Queen's Service Medal, Mrs. Jan Rutledge of Auckland for services to transitional housing. Jan Rutledge is General Manager of DePaul House, providing essential housing and support services for vulnerable people on the North Shore. She has overseen an expansion of DePaul House's services from 11 apartments to more than 50 properties. She is active with the Ministry of Social Development's Housing External Focus Group, the Auckland District Council of Social Services Housing Subcommittee, the Auckland Catholic Housing Network, the Housing Connections Network, and the New Zealand Council of Christian Social Services Impacts of Policy and Exclusion Policy Group. Mrs. Rutledge is a board member of Auckland North Community and Development. Mrs. Jan Rutledge, please come forward. Your Excellency, the investiture has concluded.
New Zealand's honest system is our highest public affirmation of outstanding individual achievement. It reinforces those things that make our society better: service, manaakitanga, and the pursuit of excellence. To our recipients, it has been a privilege to hear your stories. You have each used your talents and abilities to improve the lives of fellow New Zealanders. In doing so, you embody the spirit of the whakatauki. Whaia te iti kahurangi, ki te tū oho koe me he maunga teitei. Seek the treasure that you value most dearly. If you bow your head, let it be to a lofty mountain. I urge recipients to wear your insignia with pride at every opportunity, knowing that you inspire others by your example. On behalf of the Queen of New Zealand and all New Zealanders, I congratulate you on your achievements and thank you again for your service to our country. Kia ora, hohi mai tātou katoa. You will see on the back of your program the words of the National Anthem in Te Reo Māori and in English. I now invite you to stand with me and join in singing the national anthem.
Defend